Okay, testes, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. All right, let me put on the headset here. Alrighty, hey, hey. Ting, 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 ting. All right, that seems to be working. Give me a moment, folks. I'm having some technical difficulties. All right, good. That's working. All righty. Sorry for the delay, folks. Once again, it's just I was having a little technical difficulties. Also, this time I'm going to share the link out on Twitter. And Doctor Who, by the way, is now trending on Twitter, which is, not amazing, given this was a major announcement. And it's funny how they waited until after SDC. And, you'd think this is something, that may have been a little bit important to mention. All right, there we go. Now we're all shared. Let me get back to the main screen so we can start jabbering. Okay. Unless you've been living in a tomb or you've been hanging out with Tutankhamun, it just hit the page today like wildfire that, Doctor Who is apparently, not Doctor Who, but Jodie Whittaker and Chibnall have now been confirmed to be leaving in 2022. And it's weird because, okay, there's chats coming up there. Hang on, let me see if it might be because I have this screen up here. So let me close that and let me see if I can get the chat to come up where I want it to come up at. All right, apparently not. So we're going to have some technical difficulties right off the bat. All right. So let me see. Let me bring up. Hey, I got a better idea. Let me see if I can get it on my tablet. All right. So as you've all seen, BBC's confirmed this. This is not rumor. This is not speculation. This is happening. Now here's the problem. All righty. Let me see if I can get the chat to at least come up here. And now, sure enough. So that way I can at least read some of your stuff as we go along, because for some reason it's not working here.
BBC's confirmed this. This is not rumor.
All right. Now you see, that's what's weirding me out. Is because normally my chat comes up here and it is not. Let me try refreshing it a few times. I don't want to have to end the stream to fix this. But, oh well, looks like I'm going to have to make do. Which kind of sucks because my tablet, the writing is this big. Now, someone asked the question. All right, well, let's review what we do have right off the bat, okay? Sorry I'm repeating myself a little bit. I wasn't even planning on doing a special today because I had eye doctor appointments, stuff like that. Okay, the upcoming 13th series of Doctor Who will now be 6 episodes long. And that will be the big story arc one. It'll be a 6-part adventure. All right. Now they're saying that a trilogy of specials will now air in 2022, which is one more than had previously been planned. Originally, they said we were getting 2 specials. The first will air on New Year's Day, 2022. The second following later in the spring of 2022. Now, the third feature-length special is the one in which the 13th Doctor will regenerate, and that will air in autumn of 2022, forming part of the BBC's centenary celebrations. Now, a BBC spokesperson has said, quote, with a 6-part event serial announced for the autumn and 2 specials already planned for 2022, BBC One has now asked for an additional final feature-length adventure for the 13th Doctor to form a trio of specials for that year, 2022. Now, here's the rub. Notice how they haven't mentioned a new showrunner. They haven't mentioned anyone taking over, as the new Doctor. What is going on with the chat? You should be working, you bugger. All right. I've already done that. Okay. I really don't, because I want to read your questions as we go along. And sure enough, this is the one time this program has dropped the ball on that. All right, so don't worry, I'll get to reading your comments here in a little bit. So that's what's on the agenda. But here's the problem. This is following right into the pattern of something that I've discussed before, because I have a friend of mine who's been telling me some rather disturbing things. For one, that Chibnall's contract was up in 2022, but also, guess what? No one still wants the job, according to them. Which means there's nobody to step in as the new showrunner, and if that's true, that means there's no new team to come in to hire a 14th Doctor. Unless something's going on that we don't know about. Which could mean, if this falls into what they told me, and I've discussed this with you all before, Doctor Who, if the dominoes keep falling in line this way, Doctor Who could be looking at a 2 to 5 year hiatus after 2022. And that you'll not see Jodie regenerate into anybody. You'll see the beginning of the regeneration, and then pop the commercial, it's over. This has nothing to do with Chibnall and Whittaker's handling of the show. You'll notice that the show sucks so bad that the BBC requested a feature-length episode to end off. You see, that's not something you do with a show that's not making you money. That's not something you do with a show that is so abominably horrible that it's going to destroy your life, kick your puppies, and whiz in your cereal. That means they truly believe in this show. But the problem is, it's, as I've been telling you, it's a poison chalice to become the showrunner of this particular production. You see how they're treated. Chibnall, the day he was announced, people were like, then he announces Whittaker as the 13th Doctor. Oh my God, it was like heads were popping all over the place. It was like whack-a-mole on YouTube with all the new idiots that are screaming, "It's gonna suck." And that's been going on for years. Yet notice the show hasn't been canceled. It's still going on, and now they've asked for an additional full-length special for Jodie to regenerate. So kind of teeters things off their level of reality, kind of, doesn't it? But, and I'm very sorry, folks, I'm having technical difficulties with the chat board here. Let me see if I can get it to refresh. I've been trying to, because, oh, good. Thank goodness. I fixed it. As a mechanical genius, I can now go out and rewrite the internet in my image, which is not good. See, look, it's the horned, wildebeest? I don't know. He's coming to get your souls. Oh, well, whatever. All right. Writers and quest. Yeah, being tortured. So, well, yeah, they didn't either. But you got to remember, this is territory where, they've had a while to do it. But like I said, I'm not losing hope. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's all over. Thank you, Unheard Sirens, because this is what we've heard. Tanaya Miller's been telling people on Cameo, that little thing where, you've sent some money and then a celebrity sends you a message or has a little like Zoom chat with you. She's been telling people in more than one Cameo chat that a 14th Doctor has been hired. And that's the only thing keeping me going. And then another further call, she said a 14th Doctor has been hired and they will be fierce. So she immediately used a non-descriptive pronoun to keep it vague. So that way we don't know if if there is a new Doctor, will it be male, or this person will be male, female, or whatever they choose to be. But I'm really hoping that they do have a new team off to the side. Now, the thing is, Pete Matigue, yes, he's a good writer, but you have to remember, nobody wants the job. Moffat had to literally take Chibnall out to dinner and probably give him half a dozen Jovian sunspots. I got that from Babylon 5. Or maybe some hyper vodkas just to take the job. He was there to fill a gap, and guess what? He did a good job of it. In my opinion, hey, this guy at least kept the show going. Because if nobody had taken the job after Moffat, yeah, are you sure it'll be non-binary? The new Doctor will be non-binary? I'm giving you the evil eye. Oh, you're just kidding. Okay. Here's the thing. I really don't care. Anyone who has the courage to step into that role knows immediately you're going to have hardcore weirdos, such as, one that has Nard in their name, and a guy who thinks he's, the almighty toilet bowl of who's going to come attack you just for being alive, just for being dumb enough to take the role. Yeah, they keep telling you people are lined up to the moon. These are probably the same idiots who are thinking, oh, Peter Jackson was going to do an episode. Dude, Peter Jackson, you know what he's doing these days? He's sitting at home wondering how he can buy the last, half of New Zealand that he doesn't own yet from Jim Cameron. Okay, it just... that's all he's doing. All right? Peter Jackson, he is a Doctor Who fan, was never going to do an episode. You know how much they'd have to pay that crazy son bitch to come up and do it? Okay, my Alexa Godot is saying the guy who played the younger monster in Human Nature Family of Blood, Harry Lloyd, is cast as the new Doctor. Well, that's an interesting cast. I could see him. But nothing's been confirmed as yet. All right? So don't go crazy. The dominoes may not fall that way, and I really hope they don't. Because I want to see Doctor Who stay on for at least, as long as it was the first run, 26 freaking years. Well, minus the 18-month hiatus. Ugh, that was a long story. Okay, do you think we'll get special? Trust me, I don't have a crystal ball. I am not Nostradamus. I'm only listening to what some people who are out there in this field were telling me. And like I said, it just seems like now they've officially announced, Whittaker and Chibnall are leaving in 2022, as they told me. But also there's been another rumor running around similar to that ever since the Mirror article came out. Yeah, also, there was one other thing they told me. They said if there was a hiatus, it might be as little as 2 years. Because Doctor Who, believe it or not, is still making major mucho money for the Beeb. It's one of their flagship shows still. It didn't kill the BBC. It didn't kill the show. It didn't destroy the canon. It didn't make Tom Baker, go out and take a dump on the, on the door of number 10 Downing Street. It didn't ruin anything. So he said, even if it happens, like I said, it'll be a minimum 2 to 5 year hiatus because the show still does make money. Well, you got to remember, Philip, they made him, he comes out, Chibnall, in 2017. He scores a rating of 7.92 million overall. And then what does BBC do? Let's take a year off. What? That's like derailing the train halfway to Chattanooga. You're like, what are you doing? What? Oh. Yeah, Suicide Squad is out. I love that, the Doctor Who, the Great Hiatus Caper. Let's get the Muppets in on that picture. That would be a good feature-length movie. Well, here's the thing. Philip, he probably did have a 5-year plan, but then they go, oh, well, we're going to take this off. We're going to take this off. So, also, yeah, we still have Big Finish. There's always going to be Big Finish. They always do an excellent job with their storytelling. Plus, just imagine all the, the moochers and, crazy guys out there who are just sitting back waiting for, if, Jodie signs to do Big Finish so they can take a dump all over that too. She's killing Big Finish. She made Nicholas Briggs have a heart attack. Oh, God. Ugh. So, like I said, don't go crazy yet. Yeah, Strictly Come Butt Licking. Yeah. Oh, goodness. There went part of my monetization by saying butt. Butt licking. Ugh. It's like that infamous colonel, that was, in the Civil War. Colonel Angus. Yeah, Colonel Angus. He's just plain anal Angus now because he left the service. Old Christopher Walken bit from Saturday Night Live. You'd voluntarily go to Cardiff? I know people who live there. They don't want to be there. Okay, Billie Piper, no, she's moved on. I keep telling people this, like, my favorite one is everybody's like, how come there's not a Firefly reunion? I'm like, because, let me see, you try signing Alan Tudyk to anything these days. Marina Baccarin, haha, yeah, right. Nathan Fillion's doing TV. Summer Glau's off doing her own thing. She does occasional movie here and there. Jewel State, the occasional project, left and right. So everybody's moved on. And the problem is that's the same thing with a lot of the new Who folks. Some of them are coming back to do Big Finish because you could do that in a few hours from your home. Now, you're never going to hear an undoing of the Timeless Child, I don't think. And then again, you got to remember, RTD, we came into the series with Gallifrey already gone. And then there comes Billy, so not Billy Piper, here comes Stephen Moffat. No, it ain't. It was just saved and nobody remembers it because we had to have those scenes with Gallifrey and children dancing around maypoles and being happy in their little portable bubble universe. Because it was all a lie. The Ninth Doctor, the 10th Doctor, and the 11th Doctor were all suffering over nothing. What a jackass. Well. As we said, if you try to do what fans tell you, and Frankie Naughton brought up a good point, you're never gonna satisfy everybody. Not in a billion years. That's one thing I've learned, and by the way, this is my 10th year on YouTube, I suddenly realized. If I remember right, I think I started in October of 2011. And it's like, well, people are like, you only got 5,100 subscribers in 10 years. Yeah, because I never paid YouTube money. I never paid to be promoted. I did this on my own, baby. That's right. Cobra Kai, man. No, I love this shirt, by the way. Okay, but love the show too. But okay, getting off that. Also, Joss Whedon, and it's sad too. I love everybody's like, how? I also blame Joss Whedon, and they're like, well, why? Because he didn't give a shit about that show once he landed Avengers and shit like that. He was too busy counting money. It's like, after the Avengers hit $1 billion, Joss Whedon could have walked into any movie production facility in Hollywood and said, I want to do a Serenity sequel, and will you pay for it? And they would have gladly dropped his pants and did things to him and throw money at him in the process to do it. But Joss Whedon do that? No. Now, a lot of people are harping on Joss Whedon about being this evil, mean dictator guy. I'm sorry, but if you've seen how some movie directors act, they got off light. As far as I know, Joss Whedon's not been involved in any Me Too incidents. It was simply somebody goes, he was such a mean bastard. Try dealing with some of the bosses I've had. Ugh. It's like, sorry, but that's how they work. Doctor Who, the Snyder. That's a good one, Donna. I love that. Yes, he did. Because you could have had no Doctor Who. None. Zero. Who do you think was going to step in if Chibnall didn't? The Tooth Fairy? And he did not do that bad of a job, because we've seen far worse. Come on. Even RTD let these beautiful episodes slip in, like, I don't know, Fear Her, Love and Monsters. And Moffat had his share of boners, too. In the forest of the shite. Ugh. And that other piece of crap. Oh, what was that other one? Oh, heck, it was Capaldi era. The one where everybody's turning into sand, that thing. I'm trying to blank it from my memory. No. Ben Shapiro was the doctor. I'm sorry. The guy, I can barely watch him read news. Oh, man. We do not know. Also, we got to remember, all right, someone just asked John King, will John Bishop be the new, remain as a companion? We don't know that. And, matter of fact, it'd be funny as hell if he was. Turns out it was a Cho-Ji deal. But, yeah, Kill the Moon. Then there was that Sleep No More. Thank you. That was I could eat a can of alphabet soup and crap a better script than Sleep No More. Maybe I should do a 5-hour video on it. Okay. Oh, God, that episode was horrible. And like I said, not to mention it, Chibnall hasn't had an episode yet that scored under 3 million viewers, which happened on Moffat's on his watch. But I don't blame Moffat or Capaldi for that. It's like they were just dumb enough and air an episode on the same weekend of the World Football Tournament. Or World Cup or something like that. It was way years back. X Factor's apparently canceled. So they announced... That's a good one. Yeah, Sleep No More was terrible. Oh. They claim... Dude, trust me. All right, now, Amber brings up that the crap heaters now claim no one hated RTD or Moffat. Let's get Mr. Peabody to crank up the Wayback Machine, shall we? Back to when Moffat had to leave Twitter because of death threats and threats of violence against his family. Because people didn't like things he did. And then towards the end of the RTD reign, he pretty much quit social media and disappeared. Which is why now they're both on Instagram. Ugh. Yeah, Punjab, yeah, but I still like the episode Demons of the Punjab. It was quite an interesting take on a very sad series of events. I like Demons of the Punjab, so we could do it. I don't know. Like I said, there's just I'm thinking about doing one maybe. It's just I'm back to work right now, and I still haven't even got. I'm like 3 months behind on the latest adventure of Dr. Freedom and Eric, and I'm still beating myself in the head over that. Yeah, people hated RTD towards the end. People hated Moffat. They jumped all over him the whole time he was there. Then, the second Chibnall was announced, like I said, it was like a new target had been set up on the firing range. Oh, yeah, Arachnids from the UK was shit. I got to say that. It was horrible. There was no end game for that. So let me get this straight. You're going to yell at the Chris Noss character for shooting the spider when your original plan was to lock them off somewhere and suffocate them to death. That made no sense. Or Orphan 55 I had a real thing against. I still wake up in the middle of the night shouting, Benny! Okay. Well, RTD claiming to have the gay agenda. Yeah, but you have to remember also, let's flash back to the Third Doctor era when Barry Letts had the Buddhist agenda. Or then you had Philip Hinchcliffe with the, I'm going to scare the living hell out of you agenda. Kind of like went down the John Carpenter, what do you call it, path there. You see, that's the thing. When these guys started hating on Jodie, like I said, I know a couple of them that were hating on Jodie for the first episode even aired. Then I had this one jack-off on my channel who was sitting there talking about there was a major viewer drop after The Timeless Children, and it was 2 months before Revolution of the Daleks even aired. And I'm like, where are you getting these numbers? Did you pull them out of your ass? Because there hasn't been anything else. And sure enough, Revolution of the Daleks airs, and it's a major ratings upsurge with like a 21% share of the viewing audience. And of course, he shut up for about a week. But Yeah, I like I said, I used to attack Moffat, and like I said, but you'll notice towards the end, I began to realize because I had people talking to me. Sometimes the showrunner is not the person to throw the things at. They're just the guy out there to be the target. A lot of stuff that goes wrong in a show, like I said, that's why I die laughing. They're blaming Chibnall, blaming Moffat, blaming RTD, because sometimes the guys above them say, well, you got to do this, but you got to do that. And then they have no choice because even though they're designated showrunner, they're still an employee. Yeah, that's why I died laughing. There are people going, and then I know. You got to love the hypocrisy. Trekopedia there brought up a good point. I'm not sure. I really don't keep score. As far as I'm concerned, the longest reigning Doctor, as far as I care about, is still Tom Baker. 74 to 81. 7 years solid. Okay. Okay, like I said, all right, Mr. B, if the dominoes fall that way, it could be there's some movement going on that my sources are not aware of. Maybe they already have a new showrunner hiding. Maybe they're, like I said, Tanaya Miller's already said a couple times there's a 14th Doctor been hired. But the thing is, if there's not, let's go down a hypothetical bad path here. If Chibnall's leaving in 2022, and there's not a new team to come in and take over, you can pretty much kiss 60th anniversary goodbye. Because that means there's nobody in there to plan it. And if there isn't a new team out there, then there probably isn't really a 14th Doctor, yeah. So, yeah, you got a good point there, Legend of Traveling TARDIS. By the way, go to their YouTube channel. They need subscribers. And they are very, very good show to be on. Yeah, longest serving Doctor in Big Finish, of course, was Paul McGann. Yeah, they do have their times when they can keep things under wraps. So that's why I'm staying hopeful that, there is a team out there, but they haven't been announced. Because they want to spring it on you. Also, they'll probably keep as many options open as they can. Oh, yeah, if it is true there's no 60th, then, yeah, there's going to be a hellstorm. In that case, that would be True Who's books. It would be 1963 to 2022. But as I said, there's no plans to permanently can the show. From what my one source told me, now remember, this is if we're going down this dark path, okay? If what they said is true, you're looking at a minimum 2 to 5 years and Doctor Who will be back because it is still making major mucho dollars for the BBC. No matter what Jack Off McQuack over there on his YouTube channel says. It's not true. Just like you had the one idiot running around on Twitter saying that, Funko Pops was dumping all the Doctor Who contract because it was, we're not making any money. And it turns out, then if they're dumping them, how come they're in the Funko Pop Blitz online game? Onset Pistol. I wouldn't thank God yet. Because if there's nobody to replace Chibnall, you're not getting Doctor Who. At least for 2 to 5 years. And that means they're going to have to go out and probably kidnap some... I can see it now. I can see this now. Guy's out walking down the street one night, and suddenly a BBC van pulls up behind him. And he gets conked on the head, black back thrown over him, and he gets yanked in. And the poor guy wakes up the next day. He's tied into a chair at a desk. Well, who are you? You're the new showrunner of Doctor Who, by the way. Get started. No! No. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Ahsoka Tano. She should have died facing Vader. It was the first time that Star Wars pulled a time travel thing to save a character. And it's like, no, Exactly. From what I heard, there's no plan to cancel. It'll just be a hiatus. possibly 2 to 5 years max. So there's no plans to cancel. Well, I know everybody says it needs writers who have knowledge of Classic Who, and it's like, we've had writers who've had knowledge of Classic Who, and people still shit on them. Ugh. I highly doubt you're ever going to see Peter Purvis back. I highly doubt you're ever going to see a classic companion back at this point. If there's going to be, they would have announced it at SDCC. Like I said, I don't hate her personally. I just hate what they did with her. The fact they had to save her using a time travel plot. I just got sick and tired of Darth Vader being turned into a total wuss. So, it's like, it's bad enough Luke Skywalker got lucky and kicked his butt, but that's because he was his own son. But then all of a sudden you got everybody else facing off against him, kicking his butt. And I'm like, no. This is the most powerful Jedi in the galaxy. There's nobody else other than his son who had the power to take him on. Yet, here I am with my happy octopus ears. And I'm going to survive thanks to a time travel plot. So I got nothing personal against Ahsoka. It's just I hate what they did with the character. They should have just had her do an escape, get out, and all that and not this, we magically time travel. I just don't like that kind of stuff. No, Graham's even smart enough not to be showrunner. Mark Gatiss, he ain't going to hand over Big Finish. He's not going to leave Big Finish to go run Doctor Who. I don't see it happening, and even if they offered it to him, I think he'd turn it down, because as I've said, no Kevin Smith. Sorry. He completely bonked the He-Man. Continuation of, right? This is a big, for weeks. He was running around telling everybody that new He-Man was going to be a continuation. Yet suddenly Prince Adam became a teenager or something like that, barely 20 years old. And suddenly everybody hates everybody because they didn't tell everybody who He-Man was. Ugh. Yeah, but I don't think you're going to see that again. Because they don't want to put up with it. You got to remember, Moffat wanted a lot of people to return, and the BBC kept saying, no. Oh, yeah, he fooled the fans, all right. He gave them a piece of shit. I didn't even make it past... I barely made it to when the Orko died. Classic spoiler alert. No! Okay. Because they want that moment where, there's the big funeral scene and all that. Kind of like when Superman died, They had the big funeral. Moffat's never coming back, and I'll tell you why. Because the fans treated him like shit. That's why. Yeah, it definitely wasn't a continuation. It was a piece of crap. For one, like I said, okay, we're back to He-Man. Sarah Michelle Gellar, good actress and all that. She was not Teela. Sorry. I couldn't even, after her first couple sentences, I'm like, this is who you hired to play Teela? Really? Especially an older Teela? And then you got Queen Marlena being voiced by Alicia Silverstone. Then you got this other character, sure enough, Kevin Smith's trying to pimp his daughter out to Hollywood again. Harley Quinn Smith. Yeah, right. I've seen the movie she's been in. Dude, this little callus on the this bunion on the end of my left foot has more acting talent than Harley Quinn Smith. Okay. So, sorry about that. The fat man's blowing his nose again. All right, but while I'm ranting, yeah. So, this is what we're getting now that there's a whole bunch of you in here. You're getting 6 episodes for Series 13. Then you're getting 3 specials in 2022. All right, the first special in 2022 will be New Year's Day. The second one will be spring. And the third one will, likely be around fall time, they said. Scamp, how dare you speak such blasphemy? I had a guy going off in a comment box on Facebook because I'm an American talking about Doctor Who. And let alone, sooner or later they're going to get an American actor in there. And I'm like, I still love how the Americans, us guys here, are still being blamed for the what happened in the '96 movie. And I keep telling people, British director, British actor, co-produced by the BBC, British writer. Don't tell me it was the Americans' fault. Ugh. Well, folks, I've been telling you, Jody, matter of fact, there's a bunch of us who said this is Jody's third year. She's probably leaving. So it's no big surprise. What's surprising is Chibs is going with her. But then again, it's kind of not, because from what I heard, he doesn't want to do the show anymore. He wants to leave. So, and I don't blame him. Look at how he's been treated. Oh, God, Nightmare in Silver. Well, now a lot of people jumped on Nightmare in Silver, but you got to remember, Gaiman's script got rewritten later on. Then he had to rewrite parts of it himself because they decided to go with contemporary Clara instead of Victorian Clara, which to me was still a big mistake. They just did it for simplicity on the other writers. Because, wait a minute, should we have to explain what this is? Because 19th century Clara won't know. Oh, go Buffett. Ugh. I liked Eric Roberts' portrayal. He didn't do that bad, as the Master. Plus, he has stepped forward and he's done a few big finishes now as the Master. I wouldn't have a problem with it. Yeah, I agree with you, Paul. I wouldn't have a problem with an American actor being the Doctor as long as it's somebody, who carries the character well. As I said before, I try to back everybody who's had the courage to step into that. Come on, look at what all the other Doctors have gone through. Look at all the crap people were piling on Colin Baker. Look at how many people were pointing a finger at Sylvester McCoy and John Nathan Turner for for about 40 years, blaming them for Doctor Who being canceled, or 30 years, sorry, for Doctor Who being canceled. Then we find out that John Nathan Turner only hung around because they told him, well, if you leave, Doctor Who's over. I could see an Irish Doctor. I could see it. Anybody, come on, they let Capaldi keep his accent. They let Jodie keep her northern accent. Her score. She's from Skelmanthorpe. Why have him do an accent, John King? Why can't the Doctor have an American accent? As long as he don't talk like this, like Bobcat Goldthwait or something. That would really be bad, wouldn't it? 14th Doctor comes out, he looks like Bobcat Goldthwait. Now listen here, Davros, your Daleks are really pissing me off. Ugh. So I can see that going on now. Why not? There's been many brilliant Welsh actors. Tom Ellis. Oh, heck, my brain just blanked. The Remington Steele guy. I can't believe I forgot his name. I'm having a total brain fart day over this, man. Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, now see, look, the hard drive's working. Just had to access the back file. I may have to defrag that thing. Come on. There's been plenty of great Welsh actors. Matter of fact, Eve Miles. Oh, yeah, I love Eve. If you've not watched Keeping Faith, I suggest it. Normally I don't get into that kind of show, but she carries that character so brilliantly. Bam. Nah, Barack wouldn't do it. Come on. Yeah, Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, I just mentioned him. But he is getting on a bit now. I don't know if he could do Doctor Who. Then you had Timothy Dalton stepping in to play Rassilon. Another them James Bond guys. Ugh. Yep. Wouldn't that be screwy? How come I look like Rassilon? Okay, here's my theory. If there is a Dr. 14, if they go male, I don't think he's going to be a white Caucasian. Or, I think it's going to be someone with a bit more of an exotic background. I think they're going to really just go for it. So why not? We could have a black Doctor. I could see it. We could have an Asian Doctor. I could see it. Unfortunately, you'd have jackasses out there making silly jobs like, oh, Doctor Who, Dr. H.U., ha ha ha. Racist bastards. Yep, you're right. He is Welsh. There's been a lot of great Welsh actors. I don't know why everybody's, like I said, Tom Ellis, he's been amazing at Lucifer. Like I said, I'm trying to remain hopeful. I really am. But at the same time, like I said, maybe we'll get an announcement somewhere down the line. Nah, I'm too fat. Too old. Are you kidding me? I'd be lucky to fit through the doors of the TARDIS these days, man. The doctor got diabetes. No, thank you. I don't think it'll work. Ugh. Besides, my boobs are probably bigger than Jodie's at this point. Oh, wait a minute. I said a Nazi thing. There goes my monetization. I mentioned boobs. It's over. Ugh. Michael Sheen. Yeah. No relation to Martin. Sorry, I missed the Trekipedia. What do you have to say? I missed that last one. Let me scroll back up. So, yeah, also Tom's going to be making money off Lucifer for a few years. He probably got residuals on it, from Netflix and all that. So, yeah, I couldn't do Doctor. Guys, I'm lucky if I can power walk these days. I can walk at a pretty good pace, but at a pretty good pace. Good to be a good pace, but I can't run anymore. It's just arthritis in both ankles, both feet. No. Joe Biden, no. No political figures. Nah, Anthony Hopkins, he's way up there. He wouldn't do it anyway. Yeah, I remember when they pulled that John Campbell, where they tried to fool everybody into thinking it was Tom Ellis. Alfie Enoch. Huh. There's a lot of people still shouting about, they keep going on about Sean Pertwee. I'm like, guys, Sean Pertwee doesn't want to do it. John Rhys Davies, I love him. How about Lincoln? Lincoln who? Are we talking, are we talking the guy who does, great, my brain just blanked out again. The guy on Walking Dead? That Lincoln? I could see him doing the Doctor. And he is a British actor. No. President Lincoln, I don't think he's in a position to do so. Come on, it's not like you definitely have to time travel for that one. Not only is he dead, he's in a casket, but they filled his grave with concrete. I don't think you're going to be able to get to him anytime soon. Andrew Lincoln, thank you, Philip. I was having a brain fart there. Thank you very much. I would have loved to have seen Chris Marshall be the Doctor. I think he would have made a brilliant Doctor because I've seen him on Death in Paradise. I really wish William Russell had returned. Good one, Scamp. I think they had a lot of wasted opportunities there when they were doing the things at Coal Hill. Walking Dead movie ain't going to last forever. Taika Waititi. Yeah, it could be. Okay. Yeah, I agree, John Kelly. He respects his father too much. I don't think he'd do it. Jimmy Carter is in his 90s. That guy is still too busy. Lincoln's coffin bigger on the inside. Yeah, there we go. No, they literally had to fill Abraham Lincoln's grave. They had to rebury him, and they buried him in cement, literally a cement rock tomb, because they were afraid people were going to try to steal his body. Nah, Daisy Ridley. Oh, there's too much. Plus, she's going to be collecting Star Wars money. for the rest. She's on the Disney dole. You ain't gonna get her. Which is sad because I remember the first time I ever saw Daisy Ridley was in Waycott. It was in Toast to London. It was like a little walk-on piece she did. I can't remember which episode, if it was season 1 or season 2, but yeah, she was on Toast to London briefly. Yeah, so yeah, they buried him in concrete to keep it from happening again. Yeah, that's why they did it. So you're not going to get anywhere near Lincoln anytime soon. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was or not. Like I said, I just remember they buried him in concrete to prevent it from happening. So I guess they did it to prevent it from happening again. But thank you, Dead Orbit. I couldn't remember for sure, if they got it, if they had actually gotten it or not. It's been a while since I read up on the whole Lincoln thing. That's why he was wearing a hat. I know, ain't it? It's crazy. I've been looking forward to this all day. Well, I haven't been. It's oh man. I had to go in there and they had to dilate my eyes again today, and oh man. I hate it when they do that because then the sun comes out and I forgot to bring a pair of sunglasses with me. You got to remember, it was the end of the Civil War. Super Patrick Morris is asked why would they have nicked Lincoln's body. There were still, a lot of people down south that weren't happy with how that whole thing came out. Plus, I think they were going to ransom it, weren't they? Like I said, I got to look it up. It's been a while since I've read on that. Like I said, I'll admit, I can't remember offhand. Sorry. Oh no, the fat man belched. There goes my monetization. Oh man. I said boobs. I called people's names. I said the shit word. Oh man. If I really wanted to kill it, I'd ask a trivia question. But yeah, Robert Englund, like I said, that poor guy, he got typecast so hard. I loved him in V as Willie, actually. Robert Englund. Plus he's played many other things. It's just everybody, of course, is going to remember him for Freddy Krueger. And it kind of sucks, that when you get typecast like that. Exactly, Dead Orbit. You got it. That's why we have the Secret Service, which is actually a department of the Treasury, but that's its job. I agree with you, Fraser. I will miss Jodie when she's gone. I really will. Yeah, I really wish, Philip, I agree with you. I really hope they get rid of this TARDIS blowing up with the regeneration crap. Brent Spiner, Donna, you're not going to get. I don't think so. He's going to be making money off Star Trek to the day he blows over. Not to mention, if you've ever met him in public, from what I heard, he's kind of a dick. Okay, I'm not kidding. I'm not going to lie to you. Well, that's the thing I couldn't figure out either, is why they didn't announce this at SDCC. It would have been, definitely gotten out to a bigger audience, but yeah, Alistair, I hate to say, I really hope they don't blow up the TARDIS again. That's getting old. How many other Doctors were generated in the TARDIS and it didn't blow up? Oh, man. But here's the thing. We're going to get down and we're going to get dirty. Is everybody ready? Because I'm going to get nasty. I think they should do a nice, peaceful regeneration. Now, wait for you. Hop on this. Because remember the last time we had a blonde doctor regenerate. Let's reenact that a little bit. With Jodie looking up into Yasmin. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm definitely losing my monetization. Well, I don't know what the maximum age would be. This Scamp asked a good question because I think Matt Smith so far has been the youngest. But maximum we have so far was, I think Capaldi was like around in his late 50s when he took it. I want a regenerating looking up into Yasmin's round things. Oh, sorry. Did he say that? Oh my God! Oh, I've been me too'd. Oh man. Ugh. I just love the fact it's been how many weeks and they finally brought up Noel Clarke again. Yeah, that's what I mean. What's going? Yeah, I agree with Fraser. We had all these other doctors who were generated in the TARDIS and it didn't blow up. That would be nice, Trekkipedia. Yeah, if we could have, the Doctor regenerating surrounded by friends. Yeah, that would be, like Tom Baker did in Legopolis. Blasphemy. Fez, man, how dare you say they think outside the box and hire someone who hasn't written Doctor Who before? Are you insane? Well, there's a lot of people who've done it who haven't written Doctor Who before. Yeah, John Delancey back in the day would have been great. Now, he's a bit on. Yeah. Kevin Jones, you loved England's Willie. Not that Willie. I'm sorry, but I'm surprised no one in V pulled that joke where, Willie walks into the room and the bucket of water dumps on his head. What, Willie? Oh. Yeah, it has to be dramatic, sad, filled with angst. Yeah, fans want angst. I agree with you, Bree. Yeah, I think Davison was younger than, Matt Smith was younger than Davison, though, when he got hired. Because I remember I was like, oh my God, look at this guy. He's got a head like Frankenstein. He's got a chin like Bruce Campbell and a forehead like Boris Karloff in Frankenstein. Willie ate too many mice. England's Big Willie, yeah. Yeah, I love that character of Willie and V. I thought he was brilliant in that character, but sadly everybody's going to remember him for Freddy Krueger. Let me see. We're going on 53 minutes. Let's do a few more. You hated whose books hated the Ten and Rose relationship? Here's the thing, and I kind of agree in a way, because at that point, the Doctor's like 900 and something years old, and he's kind of eyeballing a 19-year-old. Well, then again, it would kind of be like Seinfeld, what you call it, Seinfeld, when he was dating a 17-year-old. But that's an age gap and a half, ain't it? Oh, I'm old enough to be your, distant ancestor. Okay. Oh, Diana, yeah. Jane Badler. Yeah, she's on Facebook now, by the way, if you want to follow her. Jane Badler. And so, of course, is Sandra Douglas and all that. Yeah, a lot of good actresses on there. Yeah, I got this in the mail. I had to order it because I was too fat for the ones in the store. But, good one, Legend of the Traveling TARDIS Hardware Wars should be canon in the STU, yeah. No. We're not going near Doctor in Distress ever again. No. Yeah, we've come a long way from having to be the girl's grandfather. Definitely. Come on, how old was Susan when he dumped her off? And then he's, Rose. Okay. Now, some folks have joined later, so let's do a recap, shall we? Well, I'm going to run through the article one more time, all right? Because we got about 5 minutes, and I'm going to shut this thing off. So let's hear what we do know. I know we've been all over the place over the last hour. Okay, Doctor Who Series 13 will be 6 episodes long, and that'll be the one that has its one big story over 6 parts. Then you're going to have a trilogy of specials that will air in 2022, one more that was originally planned. The first will air New Year's Day 2022, second will be later in spring, and then the third, the feature-length one, where Jodie will regenerate, will air in autumn of 2022, forming part of the BBC centenary celebrations. So, BBC's 100th anniversary as this year, and sadly, it's the only special I know that's been planned for. I'm hoping they have a new team in the wings. I really, really hope so. Because if they don't have a new team to come in... Yeah, all right, yeah, I'm about to address that, Fraser. You got me. If they don't have a new team to come in when Chibnall leaves in 2022, that means there's nobody in charge to plan for a 60th anniversary. And that means you've got now... See, I figure they'll be done finishing all that because they're going to probably film as much as they can this year. Chances are they're probably already filming the specials now, and that's what we've been seeing being filmed. Which means Chibnall's tour of duty could be over a lot earlier than we thought. But I'm assuming he's going to probably do some press rounds and all that, for about a year. Until he leaves. But if he doesn't, if he leaves and they don't have another team, there's nobody to plan for a 60th. And you really want the BBC, sticking somebody in there, just at the last second? Ugh. Because from what I've heard right now, and that's why I die laughing when somebody we won't name is out there running around saying, I have the 60th anniversary plans leaked. Everyone, including, Hartnell's granddaughter is going to be in it. And they don't have anything planned right now. But like I said, time will tell. We're just going to have to be patient. And, see how things turn out. Like I said, worst case scenario, as I've heard, is that Doctor Who's ending with Jodie leaving and you're not going to see the full regeneration. You're going to see her regenerate, but you're not going to see into Who. And there will be a 2 to 5 year hiatus after that. But like I said, that's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, they've somehow magically got a new showrunner who's putting a team together now to take over. That's the best case scenario, and that is literally me wishing on a blue moon. Like I said, though, we don't know. Time will tell. If there's any further announcements, I'll get to you on that if they announce anything further as to what the plans are. But I have an eerie feeling this is going to probably be the last thing we hear for a while. Because they're going to expect us to be sitting here running around screaming, getting ready to light the torches and storm roads, whatever we Whovians do when we go mad, until the time that the series airs, which is sometime later this year. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if they wait at least until sometime next year to say, look, either the show's rested or the show's not. I don't think they're going to announce it right away. All right, and sure enough, my stream thing just died on me. Let's see if I can get it to come back. All right, I got lucky last time. Let's see. Okay, there we go. The BBC, I don't think, like I said, I'd like to say they would do the same thing they did with Ripper Street, where they gave off the Prime and signed a big deal. But I don't see them giving up Doctor Who. It's too much of a moneymaker. They aren't going to want to share the money. John King asked, could they, put it out to an independent production? I don't think they would. I think they're going to get their grubby hands on it and hang on to it, kind of like Fox does. You can't get anything from Fox anymore. If there's a new showrunner or if they're going to rest the show, I don't think they're going to announce it right away. That's my theory. Okay. Well, folks, we're at the 1 hour mark now, and like I said, we've been all over the place. All I can say is this: sit tight, stay tuned. Sorry, my voice is drying out on me. No, they'll never let ITV have it. Not in a billion years. So sit tight, stay tuned. We'll have to see what happens. If there's any more details, or if I hear anything positive or negative, does it say that they're definitely chosen? Because I couldn't find it. But if they are chosen, we'll find out, okay? Let's double check, though, just to be sure. Okay. And a new doctor inherits the TARDIS keys. Now, there's nowhere mentioned in this article that they definitely have a new showrunner coming in. I don't see it anywhere. Like I said, I'll go back and review. Even the director of drama here hasn't said anything about the future beyond that. Like I said, though, we'll hear either way soon. But like I said, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised, though, if they hang on to any further news until after Series 13 is aired. So good night, everyone. I'll have to go take a look, see what I have. And like I said, as I get more news, I'll pass it on to you. But if they have chosen a new team, okay, good. Then that means we're not on the pathway to destruction. Okay, Chibnall said a new showrunner still has to be chosen by the BBC. So, okay, so Doctor Who, all right, let's see. All right, Laura, let's bring this up, shall we? Let's see. What article are you talking about? The article explicitly said they'll be announcing the replacement soon, and the whole thing talks about replacements for them. Where? I just read the Radio Times article. Well, like I said, I'm going to go take a look, see what we do have. Like I said, hopefully we're not on the path of destruction. If they have chosen new people, that's great. That means we're going to keep going for a while. So let me go take a look and see what we got. All right. Have a good one, everyone. Take care. Like I said, I'm staying positive, so don't freak out yet.